Okay. Hey, hello everybody. Welcome to today's forecast. We are currently looking at a big storm system that's going to make its way through the central and southern plains into the deep south and eastern coast. Right now, it is going to be looking like a multi-day outbreak with tornadoes, large hail, and damaging winds. Right now, we're looking at the NAM model, the NAM 3 KM CONUS model. Looking at jet stream. Right now, we have a big high pressure area in the southern plains that is forcing the jet stream upwards. This high pressure is going to fizzle out fairly quickly, and it technically already has, or it's fizzling out now as we have storms going up and showers across from Missouri, Kansas, all the way down to Texas. Some of these storms have been severe today, tornado warned as well, but from what I know, at this time of recording, no tornadoes have been really reported. Let's go ahead and start going now. This low pressure system off the coast, still doing a little bit of an atmospheric river event out there in the northwest. But as we get closer to Friday and Saturday, we see this low pressure system coming out of the west, and we see the jet stream become more negative tilted. And right now, we're looking only at the central and southern plains in this forecast. Tomorrow morning or afternoon, I'll make one for the entire uh, multi-day outbreak. But we can see this jet stream strengthening as it moves off to the east into the southern and central plains. And it's not the most impressive jet stream I've seen, but still there without a doubt. Let's go ahead and go into surface precipitation. There we go. Going to temperature. In the main area of concern, it's going to go to regional, central U.S. for temperatures. The main area of concern is up here in far northern Oklahoma and eastern Kansas. But I'll get deeper into this. But I do think that higher risk will move south into central, maybe even southern Oklahoma. The temperatures in the next few days will be very warm for this time of year. Some highs in some areas could be up to 90 degrees in some spots. The warmest temperatures will be from around southeast South Dakota through central Nebraska, western Kansas, the Oklahoma Panhandle, and Texas Panhandle. But there will be some above average temperatures out ahead of this as well. But closing in on Saturday, Saturday, we could see some very warm temperatures behind that dry line. But out ahead of it, we can still see low 70s to maybe even upper 70s in some spots. But as the cold front advances southward, behind that front, we'll see some way cooler temperatures. We see a pretty sharp difference here, up mid to upper 60s to mid to even lower 50s behind that front there in northern Oklahoma. But if we go into Kansas, we see that sharp difference. We have 70 degrees here, and as the cold front goes by, just watch it plummet down into the 40s. And there will be a lot of cold temperatures, which means that we're gonna have we will have very cold temperatures aloft as well with that very warm air ahead of the front. Let's go to dew points now. Right now, we're still seeing a pretty good moisture return as of now. Because moisture is going to be returning throughout today, tomorrow, and Saturday and Sunday. But right now we have 50s as high as north as eastern Nebraska and southwestern Iowa, and as you go further south, that moisture becomes more available. But as we go into Friday, we could continue seeing the lift of all that moisture as the storm system gets closer. And when we get into late Friday into early Saturday, we start to see a lot more 60s, especially in Oklahoma and southeastern Kansas. And as we continue into Saturday, we just watch all this moisture build up into central and eastern Oklahoma, Arkansas, southern Missouri, eastern Kansas. But watch what happens behind this. We have the cold front extended right here. You can pretty clearly see it from eastern Iowa all the way down through Nebraska, Kansas, and you can kind of see it right here too. But we also have this pretty strong sharp dry line behind extending to the south as well. And it is, I did think it did get kind of stalled because models a day or two ago have been showing it a bit closer to the I-35 I-40 corridor here in central Oklahoma. But as this goes by, as the cold front comes by further south, notice how the dry line continues. It kind of looks like it continues to back up even further to me, and it gets sharper as it does so. But the dew points will greatly fuel these storms from eastern Kansas all the way down to North Texas. And let's go ahead and go over to reflectivity now. Actually, let's go ahead and go over to CAPE or instability first. As of now, we have 1,000 to 2,000 joules per kilogram in Kansas. This will help fuel some storms that are currently going on. Locally quarter to maybe ping pong ball size hail and damaging winds 60 to 70 maybe. We'll keep a close eye on that. But as the days go by, we can clearly see that that pretty high CAPE up there. As we go by, the NAM model shows very low CAPE into Friday, but we could see it very quickly rebuild up, but not much is expected. But as we continue going, when we have that big moisture return, watch all this instability. Here's your cold front right here. You can clearly see the cold front stretching right here. But in central and southern Oklahoma, we can have 2,000 to 3,000 joules per kilogram, which is plenty enough to get a golf ball, the tennis ball, to even baseball size hail, maybe even larger, some damaging winds, and that will help pull up that tornado threat as well. And continuing here, we can see that CAPE just continue to increase a little, just a tad bit. But overall, we will have here in Oklahoma and eastern Kansas and North Texas, we will have plenty of instability in the atmosphere to get some very large hail. Now let's go over to storm relative helicity. Let's go check out the significant tornado parameter first. Going into right now, there is some very, very, very low tornado potential in eastern Kansas, and it is just very low out there right now. But as that cluster of severe storms go by, mostly will be producing hail and some winds. But as we go into Saturday night into Sunday, we have pretty high tornado parameter counts, actually. Let's check this out. 3 to 4. I don't know the max. Oh, yeah. The max goes all the way to 8. 3 and 4 is still kind of high, actually. But here we can see that cold front stretching right here from southeastern Colorado through northwestern Oklahoma. And that shoots all the way up on that border. But anything out ahead of that cold front and dry line, which you can kind of see here, where that dry line sets up, we will have a lot. Significant tornado parameter is actually moderately to somewhat high a little bit, but right now, keeping a close eye on the significant tornado parameter shouldn't be like set in stone either, though, considering it's just a parameter. But let's go over to reflectivity now, see what this looks like in the target area. As the days go by, we'll have some clusters of thunderstorms there in Kansas, but those should fizzle out relatively quickly. And we'll have some rain showers in southeastern Oklahoma as well, in northeast Texas. Those should quickly fizzle out throughout the day. Here's the system that's going to cause the problem right here. The main low is starting to arrive going into Saturday. These storms will start out in eastern Kansas. We can kind of see some storms going off there, the cold front and the dry line. Mostly the cold front up here in eastern Kansas. But as we continue the models, this model isn't particularly showing too much, but we do know there will be storms, at least up here in eastern Kansas. And right now, there's still a bit of uncertainty, but the atmosphere is still pretty favorable for any severe weather to go up. But for starting from here to eastern Kansas, it'll kind of start sparking up down the line as far south as northern Texas. And now let's go over to the Storm Prediction Center. Here's today's outlook, March 27th. We have two areas of marginal risks. This one for the Texas one, stretching from far western, southwestern Texas all the way to the southeast portion of Texas. This is right where the mouse is right now. The cursor is where we had some tornado warnings. I don't think there was any tornadoes out of it, but those storms are long gone by now, or at least the severe rating of it. But now we have some clusters going up here in central Kansas, and that's going to spread off to the east. And the tornado threat should remain very low up here. There's no tornado area or probability up here anyways, but a 2% risk did exist down there in far southern Texas. The wind, 60 to 70 miles per hour from central Kansas up into northeast Kansas and northern Missouri. And same with down here in southern Texas, but that has quickly fizzled out. Hail, quarter to maybe locally ping pong ball size. Going into the day 2 outlook, we have another pretty long marginal risk ranging from around central Nebraska off to the northeast into far northwest Michigan. That includes southern Minnesota, northern Wisconsin, and northwest Iowa. And another marginal risk for March 28th down and further to the south in eastern Texas, central, northern, and southern Louisiana. Tornado risk is expected to only be in eastern Texas and Louisiana with a very low chance, maybe a couple, one or two isolated KLCS tornadoes. But the wind, the main risk for wind is from southern through northwestern Iowa. Currently, my city's off. There we go. And currently, we're looking at 60 to maybe 65 miles per hour wind gust. Could be up to 70. And same down here from in eastern Texas and much of Louisiana. 60 to 65, maybe locally 70 mile per hour winds. Hail will stretch from southern Nebraska up through Wisconsin and Michigan, where we are expecting to see quarter, maybe ping pong ball size hail, and a pretty small hail probability there in southern Texas, where we see a quarter, maybe ping pong ball size hail threat. And now day 3. This is Saturday, March 29th. Did I say May earlier? I think I did by accident. But right now we have the highest risk so far issued. We have a slight level 2 risk here from northern Oklahoma through northern Missouri. If we go to probabilistic, the hatched area is in northern Oklahoma and southeastern Kansas, but we have a big marginal risk ranging from western Illinois through southern Iowa and all the way down through central Oklahoma and we'll say like south central Texas about. And the main tornado risk should exist in northern Oklahoma, far southeastern Kansas, where that hatched risk was, and down, pretty much down the line, that dry line that stretches out into central, southern, northern Texas, and down that marginal risk. We'll just have to wait into the coming days, but I do really think we could see some big storms Saturday. But where this most of the slight risk, where that non-hatched risk is from eastern Kansas into northern Missouri, those specific storms should remain more cluster-like, and although a tornado risk will still exist out of them, we will probably see more rain and hailers. But as you go down the line in this hatched area, where an isolated cell or two could take off, I do think we could see a pretty significant storm or two. Significant tornadoes, not really in the forecast, at least now. Still keeping any eye, really, but I do think we could see golf ball to even tennis ball size hail, possibly larger with how much instability we have in the atmosphere. But currently, eventually, I think the slight risk will go southward into central and southern Oklahoma and northern Texas if confidence can increase. Now, this will wrap up today's forecast. I will make more tomorrow morning, maybe tomorrow afternoon if it's needed, and definitely Saturday morning.